Okay, let's talk about how to create custom GPTs that work as a lead magnet. So we're going to be turning your expertise into an AI employee that grows your community, positions you as the expert, and that people just love to consume. So there's two different kinds of offers that you have in business. You have audience growing offers and money making offers. Most of the time when we're not making enough money or as much money as we'd like to be making in our business, we think we have a money making offer problem, when in reality we have an audience growing offer problem. We are not filtering for the right kind of people in our world that make it easy for our money making offers to really take off. Meaning your higher ticket offers are not getting in front of the right people. So what we want to do here today is create an audience growing offer in the form of a custom GPT. An audience growing offer is either free or very low cost offer that you give to someone in exchange for a very nominal amount, their email address, the ability to contact them again so that you're in charge of the next point of contact. It isn't really about the money though. It's about the psychological shift that takes someone from a cold follower or someone just like in your audience into actually seeing you as an expert and paying you for your expertise. Now I have probably 6 or 7 GPTs. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but that's the mindset we want to bring into creating these GPTs. So, and what's cool about them is this tool will naturally select or filter for the exact people who are most likely to say yes to your higher ticket offerings by giving them a very easy entry into your world. The problem with traditional lead magnets is there's so many and most of them are very generic. It's like a PDF that anybody could make. It's very generic. They download it, but they don't ever really read it. They have to actually read through the whole thing in order to get the value, or you could do a webinar, and webinars get notoriously low show up rates and even lower conversion rates, or just generic freebies that anyone could make. Whereas a custom GPT is dope because you're giving them an interactive, personalized experience that solves one specific bleeding neck problem, positions you as the solution, and leads directly into your paid offerings, which is so cool. And they're so easy to make. You're gonna love how we go through this together. And it's basically cloning one specific area of your expertise into this 24/7 employee that never gets tired. And people just love learning about themselves and they love saving time. And this allows us to do both. The issue, we don't want to just create some generic GPT like inner child healing or astrology or shadow work, because anybody could make that. We want and this is true for no matter what kind of offer or lead magnet you create. We want to solve one specific bleeding neck problem entirely. Not a bunch of different problems, but one problem. Generic, it could belong to anybody. Specific creates that immediate, that's me response. If you think about it, if you're not repelling anyone, you're not attracting anyone either. And when we're trying to serve everybody because we're afraid to pick the wrong thing or be too niche, you end up serving no one because the algorithm doesn't even put you in front of anybody because it just doesn't know who to show your content to. I'd much rather go super specific and deep on one core problem than try to be a little bit to everybody, if that makes sense. And it's going to be related to our niche, which means it's building desire for access to your premium community or higher ticket offerings. Again, I'll leave this up to you. It could either be a free GPT or it could be part of your premium or VIP offerings. And you're probably going to make more than one of these if you're like me. I love making these things. So when we think about the hyper-specific problem that we could solve, I don't want you to just pull it out of the ethers. I want you to really think about, what questions am I getting in the DMs all the time? What are the patterns that I'm noticing that keep showing up in discovery calls? And if you really want to get spicy with this, what I would do is upload all your transcripts from either your one-on-one calls, your group calls, your sales calls with permission. With permission. We don't want to plug anybody's stuff into AI unless they have given us permission to do that. But once you have that, extracting the key issues your audience faces. And then like, what is that exact moment of pain that my audience experiences? And there's a difference between like root cause pain and symptom pain. Symptoms people are aware of, but then there's usually a root cause that's underlying that. So for example, I have my CEO Oracle GPT that synthesizes Kabbalistic astrology for like business strategy. So they might know that they're burnt out in their business, or they've hit a plateau, or they've tried to copy someone else's strategy exactly and it's not working. So they're aware of that. They're not really sure why. And so the CEO Oracle is like, oh, it's your tikkun. This is just spiritual baggage. You came into this life to transform, and here's how you're going to transform it. Do you see how that's like super specific? So some other examples of specific pain points. Oh, and I'll show you this in a second. Instead of like relationship healing, did I just get loved bomb GPT? Perfectionism paralysis protocol instead of overcoming perfectionism. Instead of social media confidence, the visibility hangover helper. How dope. And then I want to show you, I created this for you guys. I gave you 900 custom GPT lead magnet ideas here across any niche. I tried to include everything. So you can filter by healing modalities, visibility and marketing, niche, business coaches, money mindset, relationships. And when you click on any of these, it will generate custom GPT lead magnet ideas just for you. So you can use this to play around with. You don't have to stick with any of these, but they're just to get the wheels turning. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So setting up GPTs, it's actually really easy. I'm going to walk you through it. But every GPT needs these three things. So step one is the brain. This is the master prompt. This is where you're telling it its role and its personality, what tone, how is it going to interact, your unique methodology, what it should and should not do. This has to be under 5,000 characters, okay? The next one is the knowledge base. This is where you're going to upload project files that I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second. Where you upload project files. These are either documents that you create based in your methodology, or you can find free PDFs online. Just make sure you like read through them and you align with what the teaching is, and you're not, trying to pass them off as your own. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. And your proprietary frameworks as they relate to the job of this custom GPT. And then I would always recommend having, if this is a free GPT, having a CTA where you can include in the custom instructions after you give them this response, include a CTA for them to upgrade to premium or VIP, just like gently guiding them to the next step. We're not trying to be overtly like used car salesman-y, but just letting them know there is more, okay? And we're going to be using AI to create your master prompt. It's super cool. So let's say we go into limiting belief demolisher, choice point illuminator. Interesting. Money block revealer, energy drain diagnostic. Interesting. I might even take this a step further. Let's say we want to create the limiting belief demolisher. So what we're going to do is I just open ChatGPT, okay? And then I'm going to click on Explore GPTs, Create, right there in the right. And this is what I was referring to before. So every GPT has a name. You have a short description that explains what your GPT does. The master prompt that we just talked about, that's the instructions. That's limited to 5,000 characters. And then we haven't talked about conversation starters yet. And then knowledge, this is where you're going to upload PDFs, documents, files, books that you find online that are related to this thing that the GPT solves, okay? And when we're talking about creating this prompt, I actually might just do it in the Create tab. When you go to create a custom GPT, it opens this screen and it will open to the Configure tab, but you can also go to this Create tab and be like, hey, I want to create a custom GPT, limiting belief demolisher GPT. My niche is spiritual business, specifically human design, AI, Skool, Kabbalah. And this is the prompt. So let's say we're gonna create this one. I'm actually probably gonna go to Claude to write the custom instructions. I changed my mind because it has a longer thinking window and I just find it to be more creative. So I wanna create this custom GPT. Let me create this, my niche, write system instruction under 5,000 characters that do this, that include based on every what it comes up with. Here we go. Fantastic. Amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna take those and I'm actually gonna go back to the configure tab and boundaries. These conversation starters it just recommended, those go here. And these are what's gonna pop up when someone first opens the GPT. See, they're popping up over here on the right side. And I can't seem to follow through. Help me see what's this is coming from. Boom. Okay. And then I'm gonna call it the limiting belief spirit. I'll probably say limiting belief demolisher GPT for spiritual or spiritual biz. Give me a short description of what this GPT does. I think it's gonna be too long. Decode the invisible beliefs. I think that would work. And see, then it pops up right here. Okay, so that's how you do come up with the first prompt. Now, let's talk about where to find expert content. I want you to include both your own methodology and documents that you can have AI help you create. Any of your language guides, assessment tools, information about your brand, tone, and voice, and then also some like free PDF resources. So PDF Coffee is a really good one. You can ask Claude or ChatGPT, give me like the top 5 books in this area, or maybe you have some books that you love related to what this is, and you can upload those. You can use PDF Copy, Scribd, Internet Archive, and so that's where you can find PDF resources to add here under the knowledge files. And then you can also create documents related to your own methodology. So what knowledge files? So I'm just gonna show you, maybe I'll show you an example of how I did it like this. Okay, what knowledge files should I create in the form of PDFs to upload to this GPT to ensure the responses/output are consistent with and aligned with my methodology? Yeah. I love using Claude to make these. And I have one more hack. You know what? I want to show you how to do it like this. Okay. This is what I would do. And this is new from the last time I have created a GPT. So this is a tool called Google Notebook LM. And what's different about this is when you're using Claude or ChatGPT, it's a large language model, so it's trained on like the entirety of the internet. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. You know, it hallucinates. And so what I have started doing is using Google Notebook LM, which is a free tool that Google uses, and it's just a language model. So it will only comb the resources that you give it. And this is how you ensure that the PDFs you upload to your GPT are consistent and aligned with your methodology, your teaching style, what you talk about. And so let's say, I know we're working on this limiting belief decoder, but let's see based on what's in here. I could say, and the way this works is I've just uploaded sources. So I've uploaded transcripts from my calls. I've connected my YouTube videos. So it can read files, YouTube videos, you can copy in the text, transcripts from group one-on-one sales calls. And so now whenever I can go into my Google Notebook and say, write the prompt that will generate a workbook on how to demolish limiting beliefs for spiritual entrepreneurs aligned with their human design based on all your sources. This is kind of This is an optional step using Google Notebook, but I just feel like you're gonna get better output like this. And so what I do is I upload all my sources to Google Notebook, and I have one notebook. This Amanda Spiritual Business School is like all of my resources, and then I have separate notebooks for each offer if I want to have like more specific content just related to human design or Kabbalah or AI. But this is my general notebook, so let's see what it comes up with. And so I'll go to the chat here, and you get Google Notebook to write the prompt that will generate the workbook, because then it's combing all of your resources, and then I'll get Claude to actually create the workbook. And here's the prompt. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Wow. And see, it's citing all of my content, like where it got this from. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, and I'm going to add this to my Skool project file so it has more information on me. In theory, is it connected? Oh, it's in there. Okay. And then I'm going to take the prompt that I got from Google Notebook, and I'm going to put it into here. I need you to write high impact actionable workbook, aligned entrepreneur's guide to killing limiting beliefs. Boom. Pretty good. Can't believe I just came up with that. And this is giving just like the core content here, but you could also turn this into a branded workbook, but it doesn't really need to be a branded workbook because we're just uploading it into the back end of your GPT. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I'll have to show you how to do that in another video. Wow. And do you see how it's writing this aligned with my methodology? Because I had Google Notebook give it just the information it needed in the prompt in order to create this workbook aligned with my methodology. But then secondly, it's connected to my Amanda Skool growth project inside of Claude, which is also trained on a lot of it has a lot of context related to my business. So it's pulling context from both Claude's project knowledge base and Google Notebook. Okay, so while it's doing that, I'm showing you that's how to create the project files. I'll upload those in a second. And the freemium funnel formula, like the way that we're going to use this GPT in the greater context of your Skool community is like tier 1 is including it in your free Skool community. I recommend having at least one YouTube classroom. This is where all of your long form content lives. For example, overarching, I recommend having your Skool be public and then turning on member auto approval and having at least one course that is open to everyone of all your YouTube videos. So that's what this would be. And then you link the YouTube video here and create like an SEO blog article to go underneath it. So this is going to help you with discovery. And if your GPT is free, you can include it in one of the free classrooms, or at the very least, creating a video about the custom GPT the video is free. It lives on your YouTube with a CTA to get the custom GPT in your community. And so the way I did this is inside my Kabbalistic Astrology for Business course, which this is open to everybody. I have this video where I was going through what the CEO Oracle GPT does, and then I link them to that classroom. So the video is in the free course open to everyone. And then since I'm logged in as an admin, it brought this up, but let's say I'm gonna view as a member. Okay, so see the CEO Oracle GPT, I also created a classroom with the GPT where they can upgrade to just $7 to get complimentary access to this GPT. So when they click it, they have to unlock with premium. And so that's how you would sell it and include it as part of your premium membership inside your Skool. And then secondly, having a CTA embedded into the GPT instructions where they can book a VIP discovery call. These are the 3 ways you would use one GPT, but you could also have different GPTs for each of these levels. I'm just trying to keep this focused on lead magnets. So you would have a promotional video about your GPT in your free community content. You would set a standalone classroom for this GPT that would be part of your premium version of your Skool. And then you can also have a CTA inside the GPT to book a discovery call for personalized strategy. That's 3 ways to use the same GPT. We're working smarter, not harder here. Oh, and of course, I have a little slide on this. So you have it inside its own classroom. It could also be a featured module in your A to Z resource library, like I have here. See, I put the client challenge GPT here inside of the A to Z resource library. Having a YouTube video where you're talking about the GPT. It's ideally you're not just promoting the GPT in the video, you're providing some other value as well, but you do have a CTA for them to become a premium member or book a call to get their custom GPT. You can also create social media content around it. I actually did a lot of this. If you look in the Kabbalistic astrology classroom, all of these North Node videos were TikTok videos that are also posted on YouTube. And at the end, I say comment Aries, if your North Node is in Aries, if you want the CEO Oracle GPT. And I got so many people from these videos, like so many. So you have social media content, and then you can have it DM conversations. I'm not really sure where that's from. Don't worry about that. Just remember, your community is like clay. We want to really lean into this Western facade approach. Depending on where you are in starting or growing your Skool community, there's no such thing as the perfect GPT or the perfect niche or offer. We co-create these things alongside our audience and our communities, and we start where we are and make them less bad over time. So don't feel like you're stuck with this one GPT forever. It's a skill that you are learning. And when you learn the skills and your intention is to show up from a giving place and provide value, the money always shows up. It's always there. So I want you to approach this as a fun adventure where you're learning something new. You're creating a system that works without you 24/7. And how cool is it to have your own custom GPT positioning you as an expert and promoting your offerings? It's so dope. So I want you to do something that's exciting to you, that feels fun. Maybe it's a little bit challenging, but you'll figure it out as you go, and then you'll see what your audience responds to. Like I said, this was not my first, I haven't just made one GPT. My first one I made last year was an AI DM assistant GPT. And then I have the client challenge. I have a VSL by design GPT. These are things that I continue to make in response to the patterns and struggles I'm noticing with my community. So that's how we're using the same GPT. Now let's go back and see, do we have our workbook? We fucking do. I'm gonna take this and create a document. I'm gonna paste that into this document. Oh, and it's 21 pages. Dude, this is in depth. Demolish the doubt. And then what I'm going to do is download this as a PDF, and I'm going to upload it to my knowledge files. Demolish the doubt. Okay, pretty cool. And let me show you. So I would just I would ask Chat or Claude to give you some book recommendations, or if you have your own ideas for books, I would just go to the sites that I mentioned earlier. So Scrib, PDF Coffee, Internet Archive, and see if you can find a downloadable PDF version of it. PDF Coffee is a really good one I like. And so I would just search for the name of the book, free PDF download, or PDF Coffee, and then type in the title of the book. And then you can download that PDF and upload it to your knowledge files here. So that's how we would do it. And then I'm just gonna say create, save. And in all of my GPTs, I've done more than one PDF. For the CEO Oracle GPT, I'll show you the back end of it. I just wanted to show you the process once. View GPT. So I'm gonna delete this one because I just made that yesterday. Let's open the CEO Oracle GPT so you can see. Edit GPT. Okay, so see, I have the title, I have my instructions here, I have my 4 conversation starters, and see, I created all of these PDFs to go along with it, and you're gonna figure out what you need once you start testing it. Like I tested this, I don't know, dozens of times myself to make sure that the output was consistent. And every time it wasn't, I'd be like, okay, so what else do you need in your knowledge files to solve this problem, essentially? So I have like the Kabbalistic months and energy of each month. I have the Skool by Design guide. I uploaded my brand voice. I uploaded a North Node meaning in business, a Tikkun in business, how Kabbalistic astrology affects your business, and then a book on Kabbalistic astrology. And that's how I made this. And once you have it all set up over here, you can test it here by clicking on your conversation starters and see if it gives you an output that you like. Well, if the network connection would work. Okay, fuck this guy. We're gonna keep it moving. Nope, this one. And one thing I did want to mention, this is also optional, is before you spend hours and hours and hours on this GPT, I cannot recommend this enough, doing a $10 heartbeat ad on Facebook. I didn't even know you could do this. I just discovered this in my own business and I just want to share what worked for me. So what you could do is create like a minimum viable GPT based on what we've just covered today, and then do a leads campaign on Facebook with a total budget of $10, where you say, hey, I'm giving away this GPT free for 5 days. Give them a little bit of information about what's in the GPT, and then you're gonna link them to your Skool community. You can either send them to your about page or the classroom where you have the GPT. You could link them to the CEO Oracle GPT classroom. And as long as, so this is another reason I would recommend your community being public and having member auto approval turned on, so that people don't have to wait for their membership request to go through before they can see what's in the community. So you have a total budget of $10. You give this thing away for free for 5 days. Also do it in your community. Like say, hey, I'm giving this GPT away for 5 days. Here's the link to it. And then just say you're doing it in exchange for feedback. Let me know, does this thing work? Does it make sense? Is this valuable? So giving it away to your community and then doing a $10 ad to see if a cold audience who's never seen you before is actually interested in this thing. If you get a low cost per registration, when I did this for my client challenge, which included a GPT, I got $1.18 cost per registration, which is super low. And so I knew that it was worth my time to optimize the challenge, make it even better, because people who have no idea who Amanda is, they've never seen me before, they are interested in this challenge. And if you get a low cost per registration when it's free, that means you are able to turn it into a paid resource and you can run paid ads to it. It becomes a self-liquidating offer, meaning like you spend the money on ads to get them to buy this GPT, and you can make your money back right away. Plus, you want to offer the GPT as part, if you're either giving it away for free, but if you're doing it in your premium membership, then let's say your premium membership is like $7 to $9. I recommend doing something under 10. Then you'll be able to make your money back at least by month 2, if not sooner. But the only way you know that is if you run this $10 ad and see, does a cold audience really want this thing? Now it's worth your time to build it fully. It's worth your time to make it paid and to run paid ads to it to grow your audience, grow your school, grow your monthly recurring revenue. Okay, we've been covering how to actually build it, but let's just recap. So step 1 is we open our ChatGPT. We say explore GPTs, create. That's where we're going to use Claude. In my opinion, I would use Claude to write the master instructions. You have a prompt that's included in this presentation and in the training that you can use to write the custom instructions. I want you to create at least one PDF based on your own work to upload to the GPT, test it a few times, get the shareable link, which is right here. Let's say my GPTs, copy link. And then that's your GPT link. And let's say so you could create a post in your community, like get the GPT for free 5 days. Obviously I would make this better, but then you can highlight it, make it a link, boom. So you can post it in your community. You can add it to your classroom. I would just create a free classroom at first, at least for the first 5 days. Consider running the $10 heartbeat ad to see if this is something valuable that people actually want. And yeah, share it in your Skool community. Oh, these are just additional. I was just trying to figure out what this was. And you could also create a custom icon using your Claude. So I would say, based on my brand guidelines, can you write an image prompt for Chat GPT to create the icon for this GPT? Let's see. I'll close this because I have a bunch of fucking tabs open. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's try this. I'm gonna go into chat. I'm not gonna update this because I didn't actually change anything. I'm gonna go to a new chat. Copy. No, that's not it. I'm gonna go here. Boom. Boom. Create image. Boom. Let's see what he comes up with. And you can also try Nano Banana to see if he's any better. Boom. Yeah. I'm gonna say create image. Boom. He's way faster, but I think chat is usually better. Interesting. Oh, I guess limiting belief. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna download this. And then I'm gonna go back to here and say edit GPT, and I'm gonna upload this photo. Boom. How cool. And then just make sure, what did he pick? Yeah, he picked it up. Okay, update. And just make sure you hit update. And then, okay, we got the shareable link. I've told you a bit about my GPT already. So one of my GPTs is the CEO Oracle GPT. I uploaded the Kabbalistic astrology book. I created the different cheat sheets I showed you. I've added a CTA to book a call in the custom instructions. Let me see if I can show it to you. Another thing to include is in the instructions, you want to make sure you kind of introduce the files that are in here and how to use them in responding. And you can use AI to write that. Step 3, refine CTA. So then it says your Tikkun shows you exactly what your soul came here to master and embody in this lifetime. If you'd love help, one-on-one help integrating your soul blueprint into your business, book a VIP decision call with Amanda. You can explore the options here and then book your call here. And you just literally put the link in here and it shows up. I want to change this icon right now. Can you write an image prompt for Chat GPT to create the icon for the CEO GPT? He knows what that is, I think, from the project files. This is a perfect example, like your GPT, your community, none of these things are ever written in stone. You're constantly making them better, refining it, like all the time, all the time. Okay, here's the prompt. Oh. Actually, I like Gemini's better in that case. I'll take it. Can you make it take up the whole image? Please get rid of the white outline. I'm recording. Okay. Gemini does this. I'm just gonna go to camp. So there. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Remembering colors. There we go. Update. And one more thing I wanted to share is as far as the CTA in the instructions, it's shifted over time, like when your offers change. So all I did was go to this create tab and I was like, because before it was doing the CTA too much. It was like every response or every other response, it had a CTA to book a business strategy session with me. And so all I did was go into the create tab and I was like, hey, you're giving me too many CTAs. I just want to have one CTA that sends people to the plans page in my Skool where they can upgrade to premium or book a VIP decision call. And I only want the CTA to show up one time. And it changed the instructions for me in the configure tab. So you can also make changes here under the create tab, okay? And the result of this is it positions me as the expert. Nobody fucking else is doing a CEO Oracle GPT with your Kabbalistic astrology, Tikkun, and human design for Skool and growing a membership. It gives me so many content angles. I was able to use that GPT to create all of the North Node and business TikTok videos, YouTube videos. I was able to create an entire YouTube video on the 12 Kabbalistic astrology paths based on output from the GPT. It automatically filters for aligned clients. It drives people into premium. It's worked in so many ways. So what we do not want to do is making it too generic or broad, because it's just going to be really, really hard to make sure the outputs are consistent and they actually align with your methodology. And this goes for any kind of offer we ever create, but definitely for GPT. We also don't want to build it in isolation without validation. So either using the $10 heartbeat ad strategy, posting in your community where you're giving it away for free in exchange for feedback. You could also do a poll post inside your community. Hey, what's the biggest pattern or block you're experiencing? What if you had a way to overcome this? It could be an open-ended question. You could poll them and ask, here's the top 3 GPTs I'm thinking of making. What do you think? We also want to make sure we're using it in more than one way. Smarter, not harder. So having it in your classroom, adding it to your tools and resource library, creating content about it. Make sure there's a clear next step. We are moving away as we go into the 2027 paradigm shift from where we're pushy sales, used car salesman energy into just showing up more authentic in our expression. And that kind of naturally pulls people in. But that doesn't mean we're getting rid of CTAs entirely. A confused mind doesn't buy. So just always be clear that, hey, this is this step. Now there's another step. We want to remember to update it with feedback, and we don't want to try to make it perfect before launching, because it just won't be. It won't be. Nothing ever is. So the old way was, we want to think about every single thing we make. The old way was I'm the perfect leader and I have it all figured out. Join my community, get this GPT. The new way is co-creating it with our members, where we're building alongside of them, being the role model, getting paid to become the version of ourselves we wanted to be anyways. Not the version who has all the answers or who's perfect or has it all figured out, but the version of us who's becoming her every single day. So the way this looks is, I'm thinking about creating this GPT. Would it be helpful? Always share your own results and process and journey first. We're not trauma dumping or sharing every single problem we encounter in our business, but being transparent and showing up with vulnerability, polling your community, launching things as a beta and then improving it based on feedback. We want to always think about the way we're showing up in our community is we're hosting a party, not a PowerPoint presentation. It's not I'm going to solve all your inner child shadow work problems with this GPT, come and get it. It's these are the top 5 things I've learned about integrating, healing my inner child and becoming my best self. It's always the role model. And you want it to be a party. When you have a party, you invite all your friends over, you get the drinks, you make the food, you get the music, you turn the lights down, you make sure you invite cool people. Do you think how fucked up it would be if you invited all your friends over and you had this PowerPoint presentation of everything you thought was important in this hostage audience that you're just making them listen to every fucking thing you have to say? That's so lame. That's so lame. We're building alongside our community and they shape everything that we build. So ask yourself if your GPT idea is specific enough. Could this belong to any other coach in your niche? If it's yes, it's too generic. Does it solve a problem someone's experiencing right now? Not someday, but right now. Would someone see this and be oh my God, that's exactly what I need? Does it naturally lead into your higher ticket offers, or at least your premium value offers? And can you talk about it in your content without sounding like everyone else? And can you talk about it and be excited about it? Is there that excitement, enthusiasm that you're I can't believe I made this. This is so cool. You guys got to check it out. Because when you come from that energy, it's just naturally infectious. People are going to want it. So if you answered no to any of these, we have to get more specific. And these 900 GPT lead magnet ideas will be helpful in getting you started, but you can also talk to Claude and be hey, this is the GPT I'm thinking of making. Does it meet all these criteria? And then he'll help you make it more specific. We want to get the concept right, or the concept as good as possible from the beginning, so that everything we build and do after that, it's a domino effect. We don't want to think about this after we've done everything. We want to think about this from the start. So what we want to do right now, taking this all into consideration, is listing out like 10 hyper-specific pain points your audience has, questions you get all the time, problems your clients encounter. Any process that you have to teach over and over and over again is also a good candidate, like creating your video sales letter. That's why I created that GPT, because creating a video sales letter, yes, it follows a very specific format. Yes, your human design informs the way that you want to film, produce, edit, and publish that video sales letter. And it can be kind of intimidating to take that on. And so I just put all of the resources I had about content creation, video sales letters, examples, templates into a GPT. So now all they have to do is plug in their offer or their about page, and it will script out their entire video sales letter. So that's another example of a action/process oriented GPT. You can also post a poll in your community or on your social media asking either an open-ended question, but I would prefer it be a poll where you're like, do you want this or this? And then choose the one with the most interest. Phase 2 would be to build it. So using AI to write your master prompt, find an expert PDF, and then create 1 or 2 of your own custom knowledge documents. Set up your GPT and ChatGPT. You do have to have a plus the $20 a month plan in order to do this. Just get it. It's so much better, not just for GPTs, but for everything else. Test it with a few people, send it to your friends, try it out yourself. And then after that, we want to launch it. So add it to your Skool classroom, record a Loom video walking through how to use the GPT, share it in your community for free in exchange for feedback, set up your $10 validation heartbeat ad, and then start posting about it on social media. I'm giving you some prompts. These will also be in the instructions below. So the prompt we discussed to generate your system instructions, same thing for creating your knowledge files. You can do the hack I showed you. It's just one extra step where you create a Google notebook with all of your knowledge, videos, transcripts that you have in your business, and you can have Google Notebook, write the prompt, and then take the prompt and plug it into Claude to create the actual workbook. And then here's another prompt to validate your idea. So analyze these custom GPT ideas for each, rate their specificity, the exact person experiencing this pain. This is gonna be really helpful when we create hooks for social media to promote it. Explain the urgency factor, how it shows up, and how naturally it would lead to my paid or higher ticket offers, and then recommend the best lead magnet option. So that's another good prompt you can use. Okay, so big picture, what we're really doing is we are cloning a part of your very specific expertise. We're creating an automated audience growing system that is a container that literally automates your audience growing. I don't know how else to say it, but it's a complete solution to a problem your audience is facing. It's giving us multiple content angles and community touch points. It naturally filters for your aligned clients. That's why it's important that the GPT is specific enough that this is a problem your ideal audience faces, a bleeding neck problem that they want a solution to, because if you solve that problem really well, it'll naturally lead to your other problems. It positions you as the unique solution, and then it starts to build you recurring revenue through your premium membership. So the goal is to get strangers to say yes to your premium membership and then naturally ascending to VIP when they are ready. Remember, we want to be the host of a party. We're not delivering a PowerPoint. So we're building alongside. This is a co-creation, not a dictatorship. Your people will shape what you have to offer. It's like clay, this is just like clay. There's nothing wrong with pivoting. You start where you are and you make it less bad over time. Launch the GPT. This is just good mindset for business. Launch it with just enough information and depth that it can give a pretty decent response, and then just continue to make it better and refine it. We want to show up as the role model, not trying to be a perfect guru. So now this is on you to go build your first AI audience growing employee. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.